But I want to make a little transition here, and I want to go really back to the beginning and kind of talk about what led up to that moment where you're on national television with, Willie Nelson and Ray Price and Whitey Schaefer. And so if you could, please take us back. And I know you were born in 1939 in Zona, Louisiana, which is now part of Bogalusa.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about, give us a sense of your early years, your people, your family life,
Well, other than moving around a lot, my father he worked on heavy equipment, and so we moved every time the equipment did. And I went to 4 schools in 1 year. I learned a lot, though, But other than that, and roaming around with the kids in the woods, climbing up in tall trees and hanging on the top of them until they left you down to the ground, that kind of real interesting stuff. And we busted a few watermelons and got shot at a couple times. Other than that, it was pretty much, Louisiana living.
Yeah. And then, I guess, because your parents were following the harvest, so where did you move? Tell us some of the other places that you moved to during your childhood.
Oh, when I was 11 years old, we moved to southern Michigan and northern Indiana area. And I didn't know until that time that I was a picker, like peaches and apples and that kind of stuff, strawberries. But that's how we made our living until my dad landed a job in the Bendix Corporation. He was building generators for airplanes there in South Bend, Indiana. And from there, I went into the Air Force and got to work on big airplanes, which that was my very first love, was affair with airplanes, was working on the big ones, the B-36s and the 4 and over. And so then I started playing guitar for real about that time during the Air Force, and I cut my teeth on Merle Travis. And then I discovered what was his name? I forget. I'll think of his name in a minute. Hold it. I'm not thinking of it. I went blanker than 4 o'clock. Chester Atkins.
Chester Atkins, yeah.
And then whenever I got into town, there's a young man sitting right there in front of me here named John D. Loudermilk. He was the third influence on me for my guitar playing. And I thank you. Just wanted you to know that.
Yeah.
But I was very fortunate when I came here. When I rode into town in Justin's Cadillac. I had a song in the top 10. My very first thing out was it was in the top 10. And I had a job playing on the Grand Ole Opry. I had never been to the Opry before, and walked in on a Saturday night and played it. And was signed with a major publishing company, Tree Publishing. And I hadn't even got my feet wet here. It scared me at first because I thought, what do you do whenever every dream you have comes true in less than 8 days? How do you handle that?
Hey.
I managed, but it was hard.